Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Cocktail Hour. I am Meg.
And I'm Nikki. And if you're a wedding vendor headed to a wedding this weekend, this episode is dedicated to you.
Now, today we are chatting all about an overpowering videographer, a sassy DJ, and then answering some of your film photography questions. So I know you guys are aware that we do these little mini mentorships with Mickey episodes, but we're just going to loop that in because you know what?
Because we've been dying.
We'll be dying. Yeah. We're in the middle of busy season. We're lucky we're even recording an episode right now.
Literally.
Let alone trying to pump out two.
Yeah, we just don't have the time right now.
Yeah. That's why we're still on audio only, but that changes soon.
Okay, I sent you this TikTok that was like, here's what I think we should do. Maybe at the end of the episode or maybe next week's episode. They basically, what I think we should do is in the TikTok, they wrote down like pairs, like Minnie Mouse and Mickey Mouse, like costumes for two people.
I saw
and then you pull them
that.
out until you eliminate all of them. But
Yeah.
I think we should do themes. So I think we should write down 5 themes, and the last one standing is the theme that we do. So whether it's like a specific movie or character or like, you know, like Shrek.
Yeah.
Like then we pick something from Shrek, and then Mr. Worldwide, like we both dress up as Pitbull.
I was going to say, is there another option versus Pitbull for Mr. Worldwide?
No, we would just both come in bald.
In the bald caps?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has to be funny, though. If you put in something Beyonce related, I'm showing up slutty and you're going to be pissed.
No, I'm going to do boy with striped pajamas. That'll be
I actually have some pajamas that are striped that are
when you were
strikingly
in prison.
Those.
No, I really like that idea. So
just makes it easy
we'll
to
each
narrow
write
it down
5 categories. They'll go in a bucket. We'll pull each one out, and that will eliminate them. And what the last one left in the bucket is what we will dress up as for Halloween.
Themed. So we won't exactly know like what each of us is actually dressing up as.
So it's still a surprise.
It'll be an overarching like theme.
Yeah. And
it can be like Harry Potter or like, you know, like a universe.
Fuck J.K. Rowling. Anyways,
I love Harry Potter.
Oh, I like Harry Potter. Actually, that is on my winter to-do list, is to actually watch the movies. When I was younger, I went and saw like the first 3 in theaters, and then I've never seen the rest of them except for the one with Robert Pattinson. Maybe it's number 3. The Goblet Pot.
I think it is.
Something like that.
Goblet of Fire.
Goblet of Fire, yes. But
Goblet Pot.
I only watched it because Robert Pattinson was in it, and I was in my Twilight era, and I was like daydreaming about
Twilight
that man.
Can be one too.
I will say that Adam and I, we were at the Mall of America, and we went into that big Halloween store, the Spirit Halloween that takes over.
Have one at the Mall of America.
Yes, it takes over a section of the mall once a year. I didn't love any of the costumes, and I told Adam though, I said I want a lot of it to be homemade. It sounds stupid, but like.
DIY.
I don't want to just go buy it in a bag. I want to like put it together. Yeah. So I really love that idea. I did see that, and I thought those 2 were cute. I really loved their Kim Possible and
Shigo. They should have done that.
That would have been so funny.
We could do that.
Yeah, but like, I don't want to have to be the evil one.
No, I'm Shigo.
I know, but I don't have red hair. I'm gonna have to wear a wig.
Close. You should dye your hair though. You've been talking about it for a while.
At post-wedding, I think I'm gonna go
okay.
Like an auburn or copper or something.
Yeah, go more copper.
But I just have a very fair complexion. I'm worried that I might look insane.
Copper.
And I'm changing
colors. But then
colors.
You have to go a lighter tone. Like auburn would be too dark for you.
Yeah.
You'd have to go like a strawberry-ish copper, you know?
Or I should just go like lavender.
No.
Just really go
Absolutely
really go off.
not.
We did not record last week because we got back from Vegas.
The week before.
Because we were in Vegas.
2 weeks. Yeah.
It's been a hot minute, so sorry to y'all out there. So we have a lot to catch up on, but also that means that we don't know what we have to catch up on because it's been so long.
And I haven't written a single thing down. I wrote a couple things down when we were in Vegas, but I have not written I wrote 2 things and then I was like, okay.
Well, let's recap Vegas first.
Okay, what happened?
So we went to Vegas for just a couple days. I think we minded our manners for the most part. We didn't do anything insane. We didn't go to strip clubs. We didn't lick any Magic Mike performers.
We didn't even see any.
We didn't even see any. There were some down on Fremont. I don't think they were Magic Mike. I think they were like Chippendales-esque. But we, day one, spent a few hours down at the pool drinking 40-ounce cocktails.
Yeah.
And
with full Celsius in it.
And then we lounged in like the chairs that are in the pool because it was pretty fucking hot.
It was really hot.
But at one point we looked at each other and we were like, this is the life. We were meant to be doing this. We love our fiancés so much. But I do understand how someone could get trapped in a sugar daddy lifestyle because
100%.
being able to just lounge at the pool, eating chicken tendies and drinking 40-ounce cocktails was kind of the life.
One thing while we were lounging in the pool, we had this bucket with our drinks cooling off in it.
I forgot about that.
See, so there are a few things that I did write down. And this small child popped out of literally nowhere and grabbed our bucket, proceeded to pick it up, tip it over, fully flip it over, dump all of the ice out, and then...
And at first it was cute because he picks up the bucket and I was like, oh, cute. Then he just goes, whoop, and he just tips it over. And I was like, oh, okay.
Also, grab your kid.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know... Luckily, we are very nice, and, like, I do love kids, but, like, you don't know if some crotchety, raggedy-ass old woman is going to be like, get your kid away. Like,
and
you
just
don't
smacks
know.
Them, because that's what they did back in the day.
You don't know. So,
yeah.
I was just, and, like, I mean, you know, moms need a break, too. I love that for you, chilling at pool, mama, but, like.
I saw her at the pool again the next day with this kiddo. Quite literally the entire 10 hours we were at the pool. And I was like, oh my gosh, the fact that I'm even tired being down here and I'm an adult by myself, let alone you're watching a child for 10 hours at the pool?
Yeah,
no.
24 hours
it's diabolical.
A day, every day.
I think it would make total sense if you want a kid to have a kid but like purposefully get partial custody so you don't have to be a mom every moment of the day.
Take this little guy and go.
Yeah, like get a good partner who also wants a kid 50% of the time. Deuces. But no, this kid was definitely like a cat. Like how cats don't want the toy, they just want the box it came in.
Yes.
He just wanted our bucket. And he took the bucket. And you know, it is what it is. These $70 cocktails just got hot in the Vegas sun. But
and
so anyways,
we downed them, we drank them, whole thing.
Oh yeah, whole thing. So we did that, and then we went back to the hotel. We got Lala Noodle because Lala Noodles are fucking jam.
So Lala Noodle opens at 5 p.m. and we were in line at 4:50 to get in. And the way that we got our food so fast, and it was the best meal, tied for best meal that I've had all year. The second day we got it, I will say, I don't think it was as good.
Yeah,
something was off.
I wonder if it's because we got it to go the second time or if it was just a different person making it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Nikki loves a good pad thai from Lala Noodle.
Love it.
I get these chili wontons that are steamed pork and shrimp wontons. And if you know anything about wontons or dumplings or whatever, sometimes they can taste really, really shrimpy or they can be too doughy or they can be whatever. These are the most perfect wontons I've ever had in my life. They're in a spicy chili oil sauce. And then I get a side of jasmine rice with some soy sauce. And I just was living my best life with Lala Noodle. I love Lala Noodle so much that when Adam and I were planning a full wedding in Vegas, I wanted my reception at Lala Noodle. Because I don't give a fuck about what anybody else wants to eat or if they don't like this Thai, Asian cuisine, whatever they got going on there. What? I want Lala Noodle.
There's
so shout out to
everyone. There's something for everyone.
So if Lala Noodle's listening to this, which I'm sure they are, I'm sure they're waiting with bated breath.
Thank you guys for sponsoring the episode.
Yes, please sponsor and send me some gift cards. So we did that, and then we went to Fremont and proceeded to cause havoc for the patrons of Fremont. And we were knocking back some vodka Red Bulls. We were gambling a little bit. I found a Starbucks at one point that was open. I swear it was 10 p.m. at night. and it felt like seeing a mirage in the desert.
Your video should be time stamped for what time that was.
I
We
bet
did actually go back pretty early though, which was a good idea.
I bet it was 6 p.m., but it felt like it was 10 or 11.
It was probably like 9:30 though.
Yeah.
Which still,
but
even so.
To be a little buzzed up and to find a Starbucks and be like,
that was a crazy experience.
It was amazing.
Okay, so we left Fremont. We were leaving at 10 o'clock. So it was probably 9:30.
That makes sense then. That makes sense. But we ran around Fremont telling people how beautiful they were, even when they may have not been society's definition of beautiful. We wanted everyone to know how beautiful they were. Nikki wanted everyone to know that
was at 10:44 p.m. actually. I wanted people to know that they were big winners.
Yeah, or that they needed to win big. Lots of pointing, lots of win big. Win big. And at one point I do believe I laid down on the ground and looked up at the screen, like the LED screen atop Fremont, if you've ever been. It's not that great, but I thought it was that great in the moment.
I feel like I've been tired since we got home from that.
Yeah. But I think we needed that. I don't think that made us tired. I think we would have been tired regardless, but we needed a little break during the busy season.
Yeah.
To be a little stupid. And we were stupid. And then the next day we did a whole ass day at the cabana. It was wonderful.
So nice.
We got massages. Some of the best. Nikki and I looked at each other like we had just been put like under a trance after these massages.
I will say though, we were so sore the next day.
I had bruises.
And I was sore for like a week after that. Like I felt like my shoulders were fucked up. And that just goes to show like we should be getting more work done regularly on our body. The guy was like, yeah, maybe not waiting every 6 months to get a massage would be like beneficial for you in your line of work. And I was like, yeah, okay, valid point. Also, who has the time? And I'm not spending money.
And I was gonna say, and who has the money to get a massage like every week, every 2 weeks?
Not doing that.
Not happening. And I will say though that the massages we got, albeit they were relaxing, given that we were so sore, I also I can tell, even not being in your massage, that they went in.
Oh yeah.
Like we had elbows in our back. They worked us over pretty good.
Putting pressure points and moving my shit, and I was like, okay,
yeah, it was not
perfect.
Like the most
relaxing,
I wasn't, but it was effective.
Yeah,
it was effective. Oh, funny enough as well, I think I told you this, that when I go to get this massage, she's like, okay, is the spa music fine?
Oh yeah.
Or they had coffee house music, or they had a not Taylor Swift, Lady Gaga. They had a Lady Gaga playlist, and I was like, okay.
Which is so random. I'm not Gaga. I love you. I'm not listening to while I'm trying to get a massage.
Yeah. Well, actually, maybe it would have fit the hardcore vibe of the massage, but other than that, I feel like that kind of wraps up
the amount of caffeine that we had, though. Or like, I think I had a caffeine overdose the following day because I was not well.
Yeah.
We put a full Celsius. I started with a coffee in the morning on the way there, then a coffee when we got there and went to get our massages. So that's 2 coffees right there.
Yeah.
Put a full Celsius in our drinks at the pool. That's an additional drink. Then after that, I think we had like another coffee.
I think so. I think we went to Starbucks before we.
So that's like a lot of caffeine.
Well, and then that night,
oh my God,
vodka Red Bulls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I could not sleep for the life of me. We both woke up at 3 a.m. randomly.
Just randomly.
And just were like, okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, speaking of waking up at a random time, we also went and saw Weapons.
Yes.
Thoughts? Because that was my second time seeing it.
Okay. Well, last night I got really high and then I was like, oh my gosh, I'm laying in my bed and I'm like, I can't see anything and I'm not quite tired yet. And like, what if that lady just appears? But also, okay, so for me, I wasn't like, ooh, this is the scariest movie I've ever seen.
Agreed.
But it was, to me, it was more like thriller, suspenseful, like Freakiana Grande, but not like.
It wasn't like cannot absolutely sleep tonight, but I just liked how the movie was spliced together, kind of.
It was very interesting, and like going into it not knowing pretty much anything about it, it was cool to like get the storyline, because nowadays you see a trailer and you're like, okay, well, I know the entire plot. I know everything that happens. And so going into this, I was like, okay, cool. I don't know what's going to happen. Like, you know, like
Yeah.
you don't really know. So I thought it was very interesting. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it and you would like to and you don't want to know some spoilers, then fast forward or mute me right now. But the whole like witch aspect of it was very interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, that's an evil, like, I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily believe in that fully, but
yeah, but like little pieces of it here and there.
very
Across
scary
the world, I mean, that stuff has been, there's stories like that
for centuries.
Yeah, for centuries. So there's got to be like a little truth to how
I was
crazy it
just
is.
thinking about like the shrunken heads and like how that like dates back forever. And so, yeah, that's why part of me is like, yes, but also like, I don't know.
Yeah. I am not, you know this, I am not a particularly religious person, and I in no way, shape, or form think people shouldn't be religious. It's just not mine. My path, if you will. But I will still go see a like movie that is paranormal aspect.
Yeah.
And I get really freaked out. And I really don't like it.
100%.
And I immediately am like, I gotta crack a Bible, okay?
Those freak me out
they
a
freak
little
me
bit
out.
more just because I feel like I have had paranormal experiences myself.
Yeah.
And so watching a movie like a Paranormal Activity or like what are the ones with Ed and Lorraine? Are those
The Conjuring.
The Conjuring.
Yeah.
Those freak me out a little bit.
I think another one's out of those.
I think there's one like
18.
coming out or it's out. Yeah, but there is like another one. But those definitely give me the creeps a little bit. I had like, I don't know, have I ever told you about? Okay, also there was a preview during Weapons of like the guy who had like the sleep stuff. That shit freaks me out too. Reason being, so I don't think I've ever told this story on the pod, but I might have told you this. When I lived in Crystal and I was like in my church cult era, it was right after I think I got married in 2015. I was sleeping at our home. This house was haunted. This house was 100% haunted. I lived there by myself before I got married, like just alone.
Yeah.
And then my fiance at the time, my ex-husband now, would come over and like whatever, we would spend time together in the house. The house was haunted. I would always feel like somebody was like in the backyard, like there was a presence. It was a kind of like a tiny house too. There was no basement,
Okay.
but there was a crawl space where you could open up the top and there were stairs that would lead, like you could open up the floor and the stairs would lead downstairs and it was just like a dungeon basically.
I would have never moved into that
And
home.
then it was just one level on the main level. It was just one level, 2 small bedrooms, 1 tiny bathroom, a small kitchen, and a living room. The vibes there were very, very weird. And ever since I was a little kid, I've had sleep paralysis. Like since I was a kid. I remember my first instance of sleep paralysis when I was like 4 years old. And so like that sleeping movie really freaked me out because I have had night terrors since growing up as well. And so right after I got married, I was going to church regularly. I was going in the mornings and the evenings, and my husband at the time had slept in a little bit. I got to church early. I'm doing things. I'm going through the motions. I see him after in the hall, if you will, like where everybody's gathering. And I'm like, hey, how are you? And he looks at me terrified and he goes, do you not remember what happened last night? And I go, what are you talking about? And he goes, Nikki, are you okay? And I was like, what are you talking about? He starts describing to me what happened the night before, and I'm starting to get like little flashbacks. I still get like anxiety and freaked out thinking about this. Apparently, I woke up in the middle of the night, sat straight up in bed, screaming at the top of my lungs, ripped the covers off, started running around our tiny home. He gets up, he's following me, and I'm running and I'm cowering in the corner, yelling, screaming, shielding myself, yelling, stop, get away from me, help, somebody help me. My dogs, like at the time, were trying to come and like comfort me.
Yeah.
And I was screaming, like, no, please, no. And then all of a sudden, I got up, I walked back to bed,
And just
climbed back in, and went back to sleep. and woke up the next day and had no recollection of it. Other really scary things had happened in that house. Like I had balloons for my birthday once. And this is when I was living there alone. And my big white dog is terrified of balloons. He's not afraid of many things, but he's terrified of balloons. So he came and he slept on the floor of my room because the balloons were in the living room. And I woke up. I remember this. It was like static playing on the TV because I fell asleep with the TV on. And I sat up, and all of a sudden, one single balloon was floating fast into my bedroom directly at me. My dog got startled. I freaked out. I turned all the lights on in the house. That house was haunted. I would like get into my car. There was no garage, and I would look into my back mirror, and I swear I'd always see like a male figure sitting in the back seat.
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah. One time I went and I washed my face in that house, and when when you like sit up and you look in the mirror and you see like somebody behind you, that happened there. Well, it was the worst experience.
I love that you're like, when you do it. No, I don't actually know because it's never happened to me, but it's always my ultimate nightmare. I would rather take a shower to wash my face than do it at the mirror for fear that I will pull back up and someone will be there.
I also feel like I was like super sick when I lived there. Like I was like often very ill physically. And like that's when I moved into that home. I gained like a lot of weight and was very depressed. And so that house for sure was haunted. So like paranormal activity stuff scares me way more, I think.
Than just like regular murder.
Because I
was haunted. Yeah. Well, what I want to tell you is from this story and like the night terrors and the sleep paralysis and stuff, you're getting your own hotel room from now on because I refuse. I can't watch a scary movie without not being able to sleep at night. If I experienced that.
No, in high school, Meg, I brought my sweet new friend in high school to my cabin with me once. And we were sleeping in my room at the cabin. And there was a standing box fan. Like it was like a thin fan right next to my bed. And suddenly I woke up having a night terror, screaming at the top of my lungs, thinking that the fan was attacking me. So I ran out of the room. My friend was traumatized. She was like, I have never experienced anything like that in my life. Yeah, I
wouldn't be able to ever spend a night like same hotel room. Nope. Oh, I'm not feeling well. Can I stay at your house tonight? No, no, you can't get the fuck out.
I've got problems. And then I had sleep paralysis the other night laying on my couch. It was really bad. I don't know.
You think it's just stress is kind of creeping in a
little
little
bit? Yeah, I'm probably just like doing the most. Yeah. And so my body is just not fully able to relax and is like really going through it right now.
Here's hoping though, like we get through this month.
Yeah.
And then it's a little bit more smooth sailing. The weather's already starting to turn a little bit.
Honestly, I've been loving that. Today is the first day that I feel like, okay, it's fall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nope. I saw you come in with the jeans and the sweater and I was like,
it's
and
fall.
I think when I looked, because I have a sunrise session tomorrow and it's starting to be like 45 degrees in the morning time now. And I'm like, ugh. But also, fall's here.
Yeah.
So, okay, a couple other things. Have you ever seen the movie Hachi with Richard Gere?
No, I don't watch dog movies.
So,
I refuse. I won't do it. I know the premise.
Okay, good. For those of you who don't know the premise, for the listeners, the premise is just a dog that Richard Gere finds, I think, at a train station and takes this dog in, and then Richard Gere dies, and this dog goes to the train station every day and will not leave because he's waiting for Richard Gere to come back, and Richard Gere is dead, and then all the locals, enjoy this dog, and they make a fucking statue for this dog. The reason I bring this up is I'm sitting on the plane. I never watch anything on the screen because I'm not plugging in, okay? I have Bluetooth headphones.
Actually, I have before.
Delta needs to get on their shit and get some Bluetooth in these things.
You actually can just buy an adapter.
I have one.
So
I have one. I have a whole little, this is my travel kit. And I even have like a little Amazon
should rewire
TV
the entire plane instead of just plugging in
the sake of Megan. Yes.
Bluetooth thing.
Yes. Okay. Anyways, but I'm diddling on my phone and I just want to like get editing and whatever. And I look out of my periph to my left and I see a lady start to watch, or like she has Hachi up and then she goes to hit play.
Yeah.
And I look at her really quick. She's an old little lady. And I look at her and I go, have you ever seen that movie before? And she goes, No, number one, why am I talking to a stranger?
I don't know.
I know, but
on a plane, get the fuck out of here. Once you
know.
start that, what if she's somebody who doesn't shut up?
That's true.
Then you're trapped.
Well, I trapped myself a little bit, but she goes, no, but my dog just passed away last week, and I just really could use a dog movie right now.
What? Are you making this up? This sounds insane.
I swear to God, I'm not. Because in my head, I go, why? It's like picking up Marley and me after your dog just died. Are you?
No shot.
She's cruising for a bruise. And so I look at her and I go, okay, if you need me later, I'm here. Like, I didn't know what else to say except for like, this bitch is in hysterics.
Was this on the way out to Vegas?
On the way out to Vegas,
Okay.
yeah. I'm starting to cry because she is bawling. I couldn't make this up if I tried. And she like grabbed onto my forearm as she's like,
don't touch
shaking.
me.
No, here's the thing. I've opened the door to this. This is on me. This is my fault. I'm the one who, there's a fucking gnat in here. I'm the one who
you
talked
did
to
that
her in the first place. Yeah. But if you haven't seen Hachi, don't see it. Also, why are we watching sad movies on a plane?
Okay, I accidentally did that once. What's that Auto movie with Tom Hanks?
Auto. I know what you're
Auto.
talking about. Yeah.
So I didn't know anything
like
about
that
it.
ornery old man.
I was sobbing on the airplane, crying in hysterics by myself. I didn't know. I didn't know. And so I'm just crying.
Yeah.
Like I couldn't stop because old people, animals. Also, speaking of movies and like just, first of all, this lady watching that movie to get through the death of your dog, that's just not the vibe. You need to watch like a happy, like humor movie, because I got on TikTok last night. Both Meg and I were up till 4 a.m. working.
Yeah.
I got on TikTok and Beautiful Boy with Timothy Chalamet and Steve Carell. As somebody who not only was I grew up with my mom being in severe drug addiction for the first 13 years of my life, like severe, like not, oh, my mom's an alcoholic, which like also horrible.
I know what you mean.
Horrible, but like my mom was a severe drug addict. She almost died multiple times.
Yeah.
So I'm getting all these fucking edits for Beautiful Boy on TikTok, and all of a sudden I feel myself going, oh, I am not in a mental space right now at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
to consume this when my mental health on a scale of 1 being low, 10 being wonderful is
like negative
below below the line right now because I'm working my ass off. And now this is coming up and triggering me.
Yeah.
TikTok, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Speaking of TikTok, fuck you, TikTok. You are on my shit list because
your username?
Yes, because of my username. Oh my gosh. Okay, my childhood friends and I, we, dream of not doing the jobs that we do right now. And so I was like, I'm going to make us a TikTok. We're going to make this happen. We're going to make our dreams come true. Manifesting shit, right? Yeah. So I make a TikTok, and then TikTok is so glitchy that I'm making the username, and it must have somehow glitched me back to my photography page or an account. And so it fully changed my name on TikTok from being like Nikki, wedding photographer, to the name that I was trying to create for our business.
Yeah. Like not a photography or not wedding related business.
It's like food related. Yeah. And all of a sudden it goes, you cannot change your username for 7 days. So I'm like, okay. So I deactivate my profile, right? Yeah. No, I reactivated it just to see if I could change it. It moved the date back from the day that I deactivated it to the day that I reactivated it to not being able to change it. So now I have to wait another few days until I can change my name back.
Also, a U.S. company, I believe, is buying TikTok, which means we should probably cancel that shit. Because all we're going to see is some fucking propaganda.
Yeah,
and I'm so sick of with TikTok, bring me back these dumbass dancing videos. Because I am sick of being sold every other video. And now I'm getting ads mid-video. I swear to God, mid-video.
Well, it's right at the end, but it's you don't even have to swipe anymore. It says ad starting in 3, 2, 1. So it's like as the video is finishing, you get an ad, which is ridiculous. I'm over it.
If you can automatically swipe to an ad, how the fuck are we not at the point where I can like be getting ready, have my phone kind of set up, and once a video is done, go to the next video.
Thank you.
Why will it just repeat?
Period.
So stupid.
But also give me them fat ass views.
Well,
like,
I mean,
if somebody leaves their phone on and I'm like, yeah, that's me. Bitch.
But I'm just like, but then what gets my goat is like if it does that and now I am, I don't know, taking a shit, my phone's in the other room and
it's just replaying
now
it.
it's thinking I'm so enthralled in that video and it sends me 80 million videos like that. I'm like, I don't care about
on your TikTok algorithm lately. That's such a good question because like I don't even know. Pull that shit up.
Mine's
all coffee because
yeah,
I changed my username.
Now I'm really nervous about what's about to pop up on mine. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Okay, TikTok. First one. Okay, first one is in case you needed summer outdoor wedding inspiration. So wedding.
So do you just have a business TikTok? That's all you have?
I have a personal, but I never really use it. Yeah. But
look at how cute this phone case is. I do need a new phone case. So that's on mine. Also, these like girl whatever videos of people being like, yeah, fuck life. I'm just doing what I want.
Yeah.
I like those.
We love those. Apparently Zach Bryan came out with a song about ice or something because this is now on my profile. Yes. Lots of wedding. Oh my God. Okay.
What?
I searched couches and chairs at one point.
Now it's never ending.
So for all of the listeners who will be viewers in a couple weeks, because Nikki and I will have our set redone, we are redoing everything and we are looking for kind of a high back, whether it's bench or chair, whatever, like a really nice poppy color. But if you look up something on the internet, it's everywhere now.
Going.
Yeah. So every other post for me is just these fucking chairs. Mind you, when I see a chair I like and I click on it, I'm getting like ads for $3,200 chairs,
which is
disgusting. So for real. Why is furniture so expensive? And I know that this probably costs $5 to make, but you put like a label on it of some sort. $3,200 for a chair?
No,
not gonna do it. Furniture is ridiculous.
I then Google and I find the alternatives because my Google knows I'm cheap.
Yeah.
I sent you like 20 links. I mean, granted, they're $500 or lower. Okay, but then you're gonna be paying $5,000 for a chair.
Here's my thing. I don't love the dining room chair look in general, but it's gonna be hard to find a chair I like that goes with a table as well. So for those of you right now, Nick and I are just like
sitting in chairs,
like in
lounge chairs,
a more lounge in a living room kind of chair. We are going to be introducing like a table. So we need a chair that works with the table. So probably doesn't have huge arms. We also want it to be a little bit high back, but I want to be fucking comfortable. I don't want to feel like I'm at the queen's house at a dining room.
Sure.
You know? But other than that, my algorithm, lots of like, you know, making fun of Trump, making fun of T Swift's new album, which I didn't listen to it. I'm not hating on it. Some people are. I'm sure some people love it. Lots of Minneapolis recommendations.
Yeah, lots of Minneapolis recommendations.
Yeah,
I like
which I have been trying to save because I really do need to get out there. I just shot a wedding this last weekend at the restaurant Diane's Place in Northeast Minneapolis.
Yeah.
I had never been there before. They had like an event side and then a restaurant side, and the food was phenomenal. Everyone was great there, and I was like, I need to make a point to come to the restaurant.
Yeah, really enjoy the things that we have here.
Agreed, because Minneapolis has a lot to offer. Just the Twin Cities in general, I think, has a lot to offer. But one other thing I'll say just about my flight there, it was fucking packed. Like everyone's trying to get their ass to Vegas.
Mine was not.
I always wish and hope and pray people are missing their flight, which I know is mean, but I'm like, I don't want 3 people in this row. Please, someone.
Please leave. Yeah,
please.
I almost had a whole row to myself until some fucking pilot got on the very last minute and was like looking for an open seat. And you know, I think I'm a welcoming face.
Yeah.
So when he saw me, even though I was sitting in the middle, because I scooched over in hopes that he wouldn't pick me, because I had then the window seat open and the aisle seat open. He was like, oh, is anybody sitting in the aisle? And I said, yeah, I am. Would you like to sit in the window?
Did he take the window?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which leads me on the flight back.
Oh, yeah.
I have never had a bone to pick ever, really, with people who sit on planes with me. Ever, really. Okay. I get on the plane. Mind you, I paid $14 to upgrade my seat a couple weeks before the flight to a aisle seat in the chair right behind Comfort Plus. Okay. I sit down, I get there, I'm putting my stuff in the aisle seat. We had looked at the flight on the way home and it said that it was full. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get the aisle. That'll be great. I have short legs. I can extend my feetsies out. Wonderful. I sit down. Immediately as I sit down, the woman who is sitting in the window seat looks at me and goes, this is going to be a rough flight. And I was like, why? First of all, why are you talking to me? Secondly, points to her legs. This woman is probably 5'11" or 6 feet tall. I don't know. Tall girl. Points down at her legs. This is going to be a tough flight. And I go, oh, I don't have that problem. Which in the moment, I'm like, yeah. I was like, oh, that really sucks. I don't have that problem, clearly, because I'm
a little nugget.
Short. I think she was looking for me to offer to switch with her, which I used to be a window seat girly through and through. As I've gotten older, my claustrophobia has gotten a little worse. And so sitting in the aisle just makes more sense for me.
But also, like, if you got to go to the bathroom, I don't want to climb over people.
Exactly. And so I did not offer to switch my seat. So then our middle seat companion comes through. Big guy. Not big, like, overflowing in my seat or anything, which, whatever. I don't care about that even. But tall, broad shoulders, long legs, tall guy. Like, you know, he sits in the middle. She looks at him and goes, this is going to be a rough flight for me. And he looked at her and was like, yeah, well,
I'm ginormous
he's
too.
Cute. He's this big dude. And he's like, luckily, it's not a long flight. It's 3 hours.
Yeah.
And he was like, what can you do about it? And so before we're starting to take off, like the door's closed, whatever, she looks at me. I know she was about to ask me if I could switch seats with her. And there's an aisle seat right to my kitty corner behind me that's available. And she was like, can you maybe just ask the flight attendant if I can switch there? And I was like, sure. This is not my job.
I was going to say, why am I asking on your behalf?
Pull your call light on. But like, I'm polite. So I asked, can she switch to this seat? Mind you, I didn't realize there was a Comfort Plus seat right in front of us in the aisle that was also available. And so instead of switching to that seat, she went and sat her ass immediately in that Comfort Plus seat. And had I known she was going to do that, I would have done that.
Yeah.
I would have moved up there and sat there myself. But whatever, she moves. And then I go to sit back down and the guy sitting next to me is still sitting in the middle seat, even though the window's open. And I go, would you like to move over to the window so that we can maybe have more space, like in between us? And he looked at me like I was crazy and he goes, I said, only if you want to, because then I felt bad. But then he tries to move over and he's sitting so uncomfortably because his shoulders are so broad that he is colliding with then the plane itself. And so I said, you know what, sir, why don't we just switch? Maybe it would make more sense for you to sit in the aisle and have more legroom, more shoulder space, and I will sit in the window so we can have the space in between us available and open. He was so gracious and grateful. And I put my bag in the middle seat underneath compartment so I could fully stretch out my legs. And then I had the space. I had the roomsies.
The fact that a stranger was like, can you ask the flight attendant for me?
I'm not your mom.
Like, how do you get through life? How do you get through life?
And I could tell that she was making a fuss about it as soon as she saw me sit down so that she could ask if she could switch with me. And had she asked me, I would have said no, because spend money, spend $15 to switch your seat. If you know that you are a tall person and you're going to be uncomfortable on an airplane, plan ahead. You've clearly flown before. This isn't your first time on a flight.
What do they say? Your lack of planning does not constitute an emergency on my end.
Exactly.
Take care of yourself.
And your lack of planning should not make me then have to sacrifice A, me paying more for a seat, B, which $15, whatever. But B, me then having to be inconvenienced of switching all my stuff, moving, standing up, getting out. And then, no, I'm not.
I think it all really does come down to like, no one can be uncomfortable. Like, no, there always has to be like you said, kind of whining is not the right word, but like, well,
making a point of something.
Yeah, like, well, okay, I'm too hot. I need to change this. I'm too cold. I need to change this. I feel too cramped. Like, I need to. Well, you pick that seat. Well, you're on a flight. Go find a sugar daddy. Get on a private plane if it's that big of an issue. Like,
she was like 60.
I mean, okay, be a sugar mama. You should have invested better. But I'm just saying, like, there's always these things where it's like no one can just be uncomfortable for a moment
anymore.
Everything's got to be exactly how you want it to be.
Mr. Man sitting in the middle, he was fine. He was like, well,
he was like, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Luckily, it's only a 3-hour flight.
Here I am.
He was German.
Here I am, 10
rows
behind you.
Yeah, crammed
like a sardine.
Yeah.
So when I'm hearing Nikki tell me the story of like, oh, well, this seat was open and this seat, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Because we literally were back in row 28 fighting for our lives.
Y'all should have come up. Y'all should have stood up.
Okay, 2 other things that I want to bring up that might be hot takes, but I'm curious.
What?
Number 1, I was on Facebook, I think like I just pulled up Facebook in a Minnesota wedding group, like an anonymous whatever came up. And it was like, hey, my fiance and I are getting married on this date. I shit you not. It was like, we're getting married on this date. Here's the vibes that we're wanting, looking to stay under $1,600 for like full wedding day coverage. And I was like, shut the fuck up. But number 2, and the vibes were like, think Krista K, like very like editorial, luxurious, whatever. And I'm thinking this lady's going to have 0 comments on this post because this is insane.
People were flooding.
Probably
over 150 comments.
Flooding of like, and this was on Minnesota. So it was like my
local
market. And I was looking through, I was scrolling through. I've never heard of any of these people. And not to say you need to be like well known at all. But I've never heard of a single person that commented. And it just got me thinking like how overwhelming that must be for couples that there are hundreds, if not thousands.
Have to know if you're posting in one of these groups, you see every post get flooded like that. You have to know that that's going to happen to you.
And it's typically budget shoppers or like price shoppers.
Exactly.
But I just mean in general, like let's even take that post out of the scenario. Just in general, you're planning a wedding. And if you're not in the wedding world,
it's
there
overwhelming.
are so many photographers. And I'm looking at these people who are offering full day. I think I saw someone offering full day wedding coverage, photo and video, no travel fees, blah, 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 blah. It was like $2,500 for photo, whatever. And I'm sitting there thinking, red flag, like, and I'm looking at their work and I'm like, this looks like it was taken with an iPhone. And I just sit there and I go, if you don't have a planner or have like a friend who recently got married who kind of went through this and can kind of like be like, well, here's who I went with and here's people I talked to, that must be so fucking scary. But on the flip side of this coin, for me, again, my hot take is I get trying to get work by commenting on people's posts. I get it, but that is not success. Like that is not going to get you. It's like, to me, I don't think it's even going to get you a booking, let alone a booking that you want.
It's like setting up a booth at a wedding fair and having thousands of people come through.
Yeah.
It's not what people think it is.
No. And to me, it seems really thirsty. It takes me every time I see someone post. Sometimes people post on TikTok, not even saying like looking for a wedding photographer. They're just like, I'm getting married, la, 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 la. And there's just like a ton of comments like, I'd love to be your wedding photographer. I'd love to be your wedding photographer or other businesses, whatever. And I'm sitting there and I want to comment and say, don't hire a single fucking person in this comment section. Like if they have to press so hard trying to get your business, I don't know, it rubs me the wrong way. And I also see it from the photographer's point of view where they're like, look, bookings are low, and I go, there's got to be something different you can be doing to level up versus just commenting, please hire me on someone's post.
We don't know if it works though. We don't know.
It feels like a fucking vulture
because
it really
don't
does.
do it. We don't know. Maybe it works. I don't know.
I would be shocked if it worked. I'd be shocked. And I would be shocked, again, if you didn't comment and then that couple now feels empowered to kind of barter on price with you because, like, you're asking for them to hire you. And I mean this in the nicest way possible, but I'm not doing you a favor by shooting your wedding, and you are not doing me a favor by hiring me.
100%.
Like, this is a
business
two-way
exchange.
street. And I just sit there and I go, I would never, I mean, maybe I have in the past, but like in the last year or two, I don't think I'd ever comment and be like, I'd be a great fit. I don't know. You might be a fucking asshole. I might be an asshole. You don't know just because you like a photo I took. I just don't like it. And I feel like it feels very, what's the movie Ice Age? The dodos are like, mine. Is that?
That's from Finding Nemo.
Finding
and
Nemo's
it's
the seagulls. My bad. So I don't watch cartoons on, very often. Anyways, okay, that's literally my recap. Those are the things I had written down.
One last thing that I want to recap is that I want to shout out Hannah from Mini Floral Co.
Yes.
And Kelsey from Village Floral.
Yes, times two.
We hosted recently a vendor dinner and styled shoot for photographers. And also shout out to Alma Rose Floral, Reverie Floral, June and Jane Flower Co., Longway Floral, Chow Girls, Taylor Marie Beauty, Foes, Collected & Co., Après, Olive and Twig. I'm trying to think of like who else was like a participating
like vendor who did, yeah,
who like provided services. The
Did we
wedding
say
edit
Chow
by Grace
Girls?
Myler Media. Yeah, Chow Girls. Annie from Chow Girls, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of you are incredible. Meg attended both. You attended both the styled shoot portion and the dinner. First of all, Chow Girls, the food slapped.
Yeah.
I was so fucking down with that.
Very good.
But
and I'm a picky eater.
yeah,
and it
was really good. So I just am very impressed with the way that everything came together, and the work that went into it was, a lot. It was a lot. Shout out to my mommy for helping us, and to Valeria, who does a lot of floral assisting with a lot of the people that I just noted. We couldn't have done it without like such an amazing crew.
Yeah.
Those things take so much work. Yeah. And then event teardown. Kelsey had a lot going on. She has small children that she's like
has to like
care
for.
Of. Yeah. And Hannah does too. But Hannah and I broke down we broke it down.
Yeah.
We broke it down. We brought all the stuff up, and shout out to Kelsey's husband for being amazing too, and for them for hosting us. I mean, what a beautiful freaking property.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to call that out really quickly because it was a really beautiful day.
It was even to the point, I am notorious for being pretty, not judgmental, but like very particular about styled shoots. And I've spent a lot of money on different styled shoots. And I'm like, okay, you get there and it's so disorganized, and you've spent, $2,000 plus possibly travel to get there. And it's very disorganized. Things aren't, what they said they're going to be, whatever. There's 8 people per group instead of the 3 you were promised, like things like that. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll never get a styled shoot, through your company or business again, whatever. I told Nikki after this one, and she knows that I would tell her the God honest truth.
And I did ask for honest feedback.
Oh yeah, because I would tell her, but I thought this was done so well. I really enjoyed like the florals. I really enjoyed the setup and everything. I thought the vibes and the design, I thought everything was done well. We had nice small groups, even to the point where at some point I was like, I don't have anything else to shoot. I was not that there was nothing to shoot, but I was out of
like creative ideas
to
just keep rolling through shit.
Because we had a great amount of time to capture everything, and then had a great dinner. I think they easily could have charged double, if not triple, what they did for the tickets.
So kind.
And that's one thing I'll say is people complain about styled shoot prices. I get it, but if done well, there's so much time and energy that goes into this. People who are putting on styled shoots are very likely not making a red cent. If anything, they're actually out money, or they're just even.
First year figuring it out of like how it goes.
It's one of those things, but I think you guys did a great job. I really enjoyed it. I typically leave styled shoots till the winter to start editing, and I've kind of been chomping at the bit to edit this one because it was so beautiful.
It was fun.
So yeah, it was a good time. So shout out to all the vendors that you had mentioned. You guys fucking killed it.
Thank you. Shout out to Patrick the dog.
Yeah.
I have a running list of like top 5 dogs. I'm gonna have to make it longer. It's gonna have to be top 10 now that I like meet in my life that really stand out to me. Patrick is one of those dogs. I've probably met that dog in a past life.
Yeah.
I love that dog. Same with like the dog that I nannied for, or Aiden here. Like I love Opie and Wish too, but like Aiden is a dog that I'm like, I gravitate toward you. Like I've known you. Like you have just like a very old soul.
Old soul, 100%.
There's something in you that is like you've lived many lives and like
Opie is very cute, but he's just like a little crackhead.
Yeah.
Like he's just like
To me, I look at Opie and I'm like, you're a dog. You're a dog.
But
I look at Aiden and I'm like, you are a
he's got stories.
Yes. Like there's something in there. Sadie, the dog I used to nanny for, obviously Baxter.
Yeah.
Patrick. Man, that dog. I was like, that's my motherfucking dog, bro. That's my dog. That's my second born son.
One other thing also, Nikki and I tore up the night. When was that?
Oh my God. What? Like this recently? Like on Saturday?
We might as well. Because we're old and I like to make it seem like we're fun.
We're not fucking fun. I have not recovered. I'm exhausted. I worked a 12-hour wedding day. 10:30 to 10:30. And then Meg picked me up. I don't have a car, which I'm gonna do. Like in the next month, I'm buying a car.
Yeah.
Craig is also working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week because it's his busy season at work, and I feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
But he's like, you're gonna need a car because we can't share.
Yeah.
So Meg picks me up. We were just feeling feisty. The wedding I worked was so amazing, and the planners toward the end of the night were like, here, have a glass of wine, like enjoy as you're finishing up, like whatever. So I did, and Meg picked me up. We
wanted to keep it rolling.
After one glass of wine, I was like, okay.
My couple was one of those couples where they were so chill. They wanted to take a couple breaks to literally go smoke a spliff, which I believe is half tobacco, half weed.
I smoked their weed.
You did. Yes.
I forgot about that.
So my couple was literally like that couple. Like they were that shit. They were so cool. And they all, after the wedding, were going to go to Dusty's bar in Minneapolis. And Nikki and I are like, okay, we want to go out just for like 1 or 2 drinks. So we go out to 1029 first.
Got one drink.
Talked to some children. In our eyes, they were little boys.
They're 24.
Yeah, 24. Went there, played some pull tabs.
Pull tabs. I forgot about that.
Old women.
I won I pulled $200.
Yeah, you're welcome for picking that bucket for you.
It was the only $2 box.
Went there, and then I knew that my couple and their entire wedding party were going to another Northeast Minneapolis bar after the wedding. So then Nikki and I went out that way, met all their people. Again, they're walking down the street, smoking a joy. And we stop to partake.
Hi.
And then we go into the bar, we hang out with them and their people. Dusty, shout out, was it blackberry brandy that is a Polish.
Never had it.
We did that night.
You kept calling the fucking bartender, whose name is Isaiah, Terrence from
Lawrence,
whatever.
Lawrence from Insecure. He looks just like Lawrence from the show Insecure. If you've never seen it, also you should watch it. He was a cutie patootie. And then we just chatted with a bunch of people from the wedding party all night.
And a bunch of other people.
Yes.
I'm now remembering
we
my
met
Sagittarius queens, my girls who came.
Because didn't someone get married? Someone got married and then came there. Where was her husband? I just saw her. I saw no groom. Yeah. We had a night, and then
we stayed till bar close.
I have not been out till bar close since I was probably 23 years old.
I have.
I just don't. You know me. I'm like 1 or 2 drinks, and then I fall asleep. I'm tired. But we had a good time. I felt like a kid again. And then I was ill.
And then I woke up, drove an hour to Catholic Mass with my fiance and his family, and then drove an hour to a winery in Waconia to meet up with Grace and some of the other girls from the wedding edit team to, have some drinks.
Yeah.
I felt like fucking asshole.
I was giggling watching the photos come out of that. Just
by that
looking at your
point, I was having more. I was like having more fun. I told
Good.
them, I was like, "You guys, I'm exhausted, but
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah.
Like
I'm here.
I'm not one to like cancel or bail last minute on my friends or anything like that. If you plan something, you organize something, even if I'm like really tired or super hungover, I'm still gonna show up for you. Like that's just, I feel like that's really important. To show up for people. And so I was like, I'm not going to not go. And so I showed up and I was like, I'm drinking strictly water, blah, blah, blah. No, I got a sangria.
So the first few photos I saw of you, they all had like wine glasses and you did not. So I was like, oh yeah, and then I saw one where I was like, oh no, she's got it.
I had my sangria.
Life's short.
And then I drove home and I took the fattest nap of my life.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to stay up until 4 a.m.
editing. Last night that we went out, I got home and I looked in the fridge and I forgot I had leftover Thai food.
Yeah.
I crushed it. And then
that was the night I had sleep paralysis again. After
so
we went out, I fell asleep on my couch.
But then I also went and have you ever had an ice cream Twix bar?
Yeah.
I woke up with it in bed with me. I do. I started eating it in bed.
Oh my God, you sound like my mom.
And then I woke up in bed
all the time. She would go and get a popsicle and start eating it, and then she would wake up with a puddle of a fucking melted popsicle in her sheets and have to wash her sheets. And I'd be like, Monica,
I've never done that in my life, but what got me was the THC drink I had at the end of the night.
See, I didn't do
That's
that.
what got me. Where I
just smoked a joint on the way in, which I totally forgot about.
Yeah.
That was nice of them.
No, they're a very, very fun
good
couple.
Joint. No wonder. And I had diarrhea in that bathroom. Sorry to anybody who's listening. I went into Dusty's bathroom about 6 times.
Small bathroom, by the way.
One stall. And I was pretending like I lived there. Like blowing that place up. Like I literally was like, this is my home. I came out. I was like, girlies, don't forget to wash your hands before you go. As I just left the bathroom disheveled and destroyed.
They were like, we thought you were dying.
No, and it's because I got my period at the wedding that I was working. Third wedding this year where I've sat down on the toilet at the wedding and realized that I got my period. So super fun. Anyway, we can jump into this story. I feel like we've been recording for 2 hours.
For 2 hours. Yeah, that's okay. The people who love our show, I think, love this piece of the show.
Evie. Our girl Evie from The Wedding Edit. She also works for not Bavaria, but what's
Bella Gala.
Bella Gala.
Yeah.
She looked at me yesterday. She was like, I'm actually obsessed with your guys' podcast. She was like, I have my notification reminder set on, and anytime an episode comes out, I'm listening. So shout out to my girl Evie.
We love that.
We love that. Okay. Jumping into today's story. This is about the videographer. So first of all, absolutely nothing against videographers. I've worked with many in my years as a lead photographer. I always work with them and I'm super flexible and I communicate about literally everything. And I have never had an issue in my years of working with a videographer. However, this month I worked with someone who was very in control, if you will. Taking over all the details. As I walked in, was standing where I've never seen videographers stand before. Their gear was huge, and their assistant sat right by the aisle in all of my shots during the ceremony. I tried to talk to them before the ceremony about where they were standing and how, and they would not budge. They would not move. They kept speaking over me, and they would suggest other photo locations or video locations. As I had already set my couple up in one spot, they were suggesting to the couple other locations. It threw me off guard, and I've never experienced something like that. I've been in this business for a long time, but I'm wondering, is the standard changing? It's always been the photographer who leads, and the videographer kind of shadows or works alongside them. I have no problem with a videographer leading for a lot of the things throughout the wedding day. And I usually welcome this, but most of the stuff that they did during this wedding was constantly in the way and taking full control. They have a big Instagram following too, and their work is beautiful. I'm just confused.
I'm curious who this is because I had this situation kind of with someone in our market. And
somebody commented and said, was it a husband and wife team? Because I've had a similar
situation. I have not had a husband and wife team situation, but I've had a situation where at one point, this videographer looked at my second photographer and said, can you please hold my gear quick so I can do XYZ? Like, mind you, they had a second videographer. They were treating my person like it was their assistant all day. Anyways, here, all that to say, there is shitty videographers, there's shitty photographers, there's shitty people in general. I don't love this situation that you were in. I wouldn't mind a videographer that is more involved.
Sure. Yes.
Instead of just like on my side all the time and making me redo or making the couple redo things over and over again. That gets pretty, I'm over it. However, I think that needs to definitely be a discussion, and I'm needing to take my own advice right now. I think that once you figure out who the videographer is,
reach out beforehand.
That's
exactly what I was
maybe
thinking.
even have a Zoom call or a coffee date.
Yep.
I just think you guys getting together, talking things out of like, what's our process through the day? How can we work the best together?
And that also helps you gauge their personality a little bit before working with them, especially if you've never worked with them before. One thing I did see a lot in the comments of this post specifically were from other videographers being like, hey, while I do completely get what you're saying, I also don't love the photographer being the leader and the videographer being the shadow or follower portion that you're kind of pointing out, because that narrative is like really old.
Agreed.
And crusty, and like videographers we're providing a completely separate service. So like we can't just follow your lead all of the time.
Agreed.
We need to lead in a lot of these circumstances and areas, and like things that you can maybe Photoshop out. I don't have that ability.
I almost think it would behoove everybody on a timeline to have like, hey, here's the 45 minutes of couples portraits. 15 minutes is solely for the videographer to lead. Yeah. I will now be on your side. Get your shots. A lot of movement. Make sure the location's what you want. Things like that. I think that would be great, because I'm really realizing I do not need 45 minutes to an hour for couples portraits. No. I do not. I need like maybe 20 minutes if I'm like going. I don't need that whole time. So what I've been doing, if they don't have video, is I'll put in the timeline like, okay, let's say 20 minutes couples portraits, and now I'm going to do a 10-minute slice of film only, because they had film, and sometimes it's easy to forget about it. So if they have video,
or let's give you a break.
Break is ideal. But if they have video, making sure the videographer does have ample time. But having those conversations ahead of time, like you said, to gauge their personality, so you can kind of tell, okay, this is going to be one of those, or no, this is a very collaborative effort.
Also, it sounds like this specific videographer that they were working with, like, would not budge. And I think like going into a wedding day and having another vendor be combative with you is a problem. Like that's an issue that you need to address at a later time, obviously, but like meeting them ahead of time would help with that a little bit, because then you can, like I said, gauge their personality and know like, okay, this person might be an issue. Like I need to stand strong. I need to do this. But it does sound like I'm all for videographers. I'm always like, tell me what you need. Tell me where you want to be. Like,
tell me if I'm
in your
like
shot.
Exactly.
I would like to be working alongside you, so that I'm not being an issue for you and you're not being an issue for me, and we can provide the best possible product to our couples.
Yeah, we're both getting paid.
Who are both paying for a service that they really would like and would like to enjoy. And
I think if you come at it like that from the before wedding day, even that might even put sometimes a combative videographer more at ease with you, because they go, okay, this person cares about my work and what I'm gonna get on the wedding day, and like asking them the question of like, hey, is there anything that you see from photographers that kind of like rubs you the wrong way, so I can try to avoid it, or whatever the case may be. I always make a joke with my videographers like, hey, I'm going to give you like pineapple is our safe word today. If I'm in your shot, say pineapple, I will know immediately to move. Like I just make a joke of it like, hey, we're trying to get the same thing here. Different, like same recipe, but different ingredients. We got to do what we can do together.
This sounds shitty though. Like saying they kept speaking over me and would suggest other places to take photos when I had already set them up. Like if you're a videographer, do not suggest where I should be taking photos. I'm the one taking the photos. Yeah. That is not your job.
If you have a different location that you want to get some videos at, of course. But like when I just set the couple up and I go to take a portrait and you're like, actually, can we change? No, we cannot. Like, let me at least get a couple portraits and then we can maybe switch up locations or whatnot. The other couple things, and trust me, I'm sure on the other side of the coin, there are videographers. Oh, yeah. And we want to hear from you. We want to hear from the videographers. Like, what are some things that photographers do that you would really love us to stop doing? I would love to hear those. And so we can improve. But the whole narrative of like, oh, they're kind of like a shadow. I agree that is old school. We can change that up. However, I don't think there's been one wedding that I've been at where I am struggling every pose to fix the bride's dress, to do this, to do that, where a videographer helps me in any way, shape, or form. I've actually had people just stop and stare at me while I am struggling.
And fully setting up the scene. They're going to be capturing.
Exactly. So you have the audacity to tell me XYZ, but in no way are you helping. The details, I spend 45 minutes doing like the flat lay and putting everything together. They come shoot it quick and they walk away. And I go, okay, no, I'll pick it up. Do you want to
help me carry this back to them maybe?
No, I'll pick it up. I'll put it all together and get everything back in the room while you go get candids. If you're
using the content, you should be helping me.
Yeah.
Get this makes
otherwise
no sense.
I'm getting there early, I'm putting it together, and I'm putting it away just to be a petty see you next Tuesday. I probably wouldn't do that. But I just feel like if there is a ask that we are more collaborative, I would love for a little assistance on wedding day and to not be treated like I need to do the things to set you up for your shot.
Yeah.
I don't love that.
No, I don't either. And I don't know. I feel like this is a never-ending topic because it can go across the board with any vendor, with any annoyance, with anything. And so I just think the overarching theme of this for me, or what stood out the most, was speaking over me and trying to control the day. At that point, I'm pulling you aside and I'm having a conversation with you and saying, hey, I really don't appreciate your tone or the manner in which you're speaking to me, or not speaking to me. The manner in which you are not demeaning me, but demeaning me in front of the couple. I would really
even if that's not your intent, that's how I'm
that's how it's coming
that
across, and that's how it's being perceived by me. So I would really prefer it, if maybe we could shift our tone and continue the day and with a really good attitude and create the best work for our couple as possible.
Agreed. Because I feel like people don't understand that it's not only just about how you're making me feel. You're doing this in front of the couple and their friends and family. That doesn't look good. It doesn't make you look professional or
referral.
Or confident in your job. It makes you look like a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
So let's not do that. I just had a wedding where there was a content creator that's a content creator for a company, and this was their very first wedding. The way, Nick, that I would be standing there taking a photo and this person would literally walk right in front of me and just stand there because she's not used to it. So
You're kidding me.
I did pull her aside and say, hey, just a heads up. I'm going to need you to stand behind me. Even if you're right over my shoulder, that's totally fine. Or if you quick pan by me, but if you can't see me, that means you're in my way one way or another. Yes, we have to have those conversations. It's not fun. No one wants to be told hey, just I saw, I think it was Precious Films, Taylor just posted a TikTok, and I couldn't agree more, where she was like, hey, things that we want photographers to know, flash during reception, I totally understand. If we're in the getting ready room and you have to use your flash for everything, totally fine. Maybe just let me know. And there will be some shots that we might have to do twice.
Right.
So I can get what I need to get without a bulb popping off. And I go, absolutely. That makes total sense. So everybody's got a job to do, and we don't always understand each other's jobs. But I think having those open conversations is really helpful. So, but tell this videographer to fuck off.
Literally.
In the nicest way possible.
Or not. Sometimes people just need to be told the truth.
That's fair. Okay, tell me about this sassy DJ.
Okay. This one says, I was curious if anyone else has gone through this or if I'm just being dramatic. I was recently shooting a wedding where the DJ had lasers for the dance, laser lights. Normally, I'll nicely ask them to turn them off until I leave. I'm paranoid and I've heard too many horror stories. Also, cameras are expensive and, those lights can ruin your sensors in your camera, for those of you who might not know. I've only been given crap a few times, but they usually turn them off or flip them to the ceilings, and I'm super grateful.
Yeah.
Which is so nice. However, this wedding, I asked, and he was very rude and dismissive. He said, no, I have to turn them on, or I would have to turn the whole system off in order to turn that off. This person says, I kind of call BS on that, and I then said, I'll look into it. But then they proceeded to ignore me. The DJ started to ignore the photographer, essentially, and would not budge on it. It was my friend's wedding where I was also the matron of honor, so I don't know if he just dismissed me because I was a bridesmaid in the wedding or if he was just being rude to me. I'm now very nervous to work with this company, and I'm curious if I'm being dramatic about the lasers ruining my camera, or if this is, a valid concern.
Oh, it's valid.
And do I push for them to figure out how to turn the lasers off in the future if I ever have to work for them again? I know that I can position myself to not have my camera facing the lights, but that limits the images that I can get for the couple. And I've also gotten in the habit of talking to the DJs before the dances start in order to avoid this. What are your thoughts?
What are people commenting? Is anybody like, no, this has happened? Because I saw, God, I can't remember if it was Annie Graham, like a really world-renowned photographer had to get a replacement camera body, or she like had to have the sensor fixed because she ran into this. Really? And I do agree that, yeah, I could just stand by the DJ booth and shoot outwards, but what fun is that? You're getting the back of people's heads then. Like, I want to get nitty-gritty dance floor photos.
Yeah.
And so
I'll read some comments.
Okay.
You're not being dramatic. They will absolutely ruin your camera. I have a laser clause in my contract saying I won't shoot until they are off. Another person says, this has happened to me. It has burned sensors in my camera.
Yeah.
Depending on the type of lighting, laser setup, you can usually just tilt the laser module toward the ceiling and it shouldn't be an issue. Another person said, yep, 100%. Had this happen to me a few times. I then just stay by the booth so the lasers don't hit my camera. No matter how shitty other vendors can be, stay professional and never lose confidence in speaking up. As a business owner, you need to have thick skin while staying kind and professional, which is such great advice.
Yeah.
So true. So true.
Does it say who the company is?
No. And I wouldn't say it on here even if they did.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't want to blow up anybody's spot. Yeah. Especially because although it may be a company, this might just be a rogue.
Like an independent contractor.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's shitty. I would have probably emailed the couple afterwards and just said like, or I would
like they're friends.
Maybe not even, well, yeah. Or I would have emailed the company and CC'd the couple.
100%.
With some concerns that I have. I completely understand. I don't want to ruin the ambiance that we're all going for.
Yes.
But I had 30 minutes of dance floor coverage. If we could have just maybe tilted them, or like, is there a way moving forward?
Agreed. If we ever work together, is there a way in the future that we can like avoid this or X, Y, and Z?
Yeah, agreed. Okay. One thing that I'm going to say is we've already been recording for 1.5 years. So I know that we wanted to do a film photography segment. I think we're going to leave that for a actual mini mentorship with Meg. However, or with Meg. Jesus, I just took that over.
Okay, Dax Shepard.
Who's Nikki? Mini mentorship with Mickey. But one thing that I will say that I have been thinking a lot lately, I've spent so much money on film, top film stocks, top film cameras, like literally film cameras that cost $3,500, $4,000. You do not need that. Okay, if you are just starting out in film or want to get started, here's the little Easter egg, or, here's a little nugget that I'll leave you with. But then we will talk more about film on another episode. So go get a camera like the Olympus Miju is great. Little point and shoot. A Canon Sure Shot 85 is a good another point and shoot. Nikki and I both have a Canon AE1. Get the program version just because it can be easier in times where you're like moving quickly. I don't want to speak for you, but I love the AE1. I like the manual focus aspect of it because it can be quick. Yep. It's not too cumbersome to focus. But I recently shared a photo of like a little kid wearing a Kepler jersey at a Twins game. I was at a Twins game just taking, photos, and I had my Canon AE1 program version with the Kodak Color Plus, which I do now believe is going to be Kodak Kodacolor 200. Cheap film. You do not need Portra 400. You do not need a $4,000 film camera. Go get yourself one of those cameras that I listed. Go get yourself some Kodak Gold, some Kodak Color Plus, whatever, Kodacolor, cheap film, and just start shooting. Just start shooting. Yes, you can get a light meter and that makes your life easier, but also if you get like the program version of the Canon AE1 and just put it on that, that's essentially automatic.
Yeah, it's
I say that to people who are already photographers who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
But it's just nice to, if you're like on vacation or something, like I don't want to have to fucking worry about what my f-stop is right now.
No.
I just want to shoot for fun and get used to film and what light I like and all that jazz. But that's what I'll say is like, I don't want, if you're trying to get into film, don't do what I do or don't do what I did. Do not go out and just try to buy thousands of dollars worth of cameras and films and whatever, because you don't actually need that.
Do as she says, not as she does.
100%. 100%. And we'll talk more about, like, I will talk about the film, cameras that I have. I will talk about the film scanning that I do, and like, or going to fast photo and what we've liked and what we haven't liked and stuff like that. But I know that I had posted that probably a week or two ago about talking about film. So I wanted to leave a little tidbit, but I just need people not to rush out and spend a ton of money on everything when you really don't need to do that as you're starting out. And also, don't charge couples for film unless you know what you are doing.
100%.
That's one other thing that I just want to say. Practice for like 6 months to a year until you really
100%.
feel good that I'm going to say at least 30 out of 36 exposures of your film roll are coming out decently. I would wait until then before you start charging these couples.
Yep.
Because that's just hot water you don't want to put yourself into. So, that's literally all that I have for you guys. So thanks for joining this cocktail hour. Don't forget to subscribe, review the pod wherever you listen.
And follow along with us on Instagram at cocktailhour.podcast. The link in our bio is available for you to submit anything anonymously or non-anonymously if you want to just leave your name at the end of it. We'll shout you out.
Hell yeah. And also really quick, remember Halloween weekend will be when we're back on video. If you have any category of Halloween costumes you want Nikki and I to throw in the bucket,
we'll pick it next week.
Yeah, let us know. We'll talk to you guys later.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.